A flood watch for all of Central Texas begins tomorrow evening and continues into the weekend. We'll time out the arrival of the rain and now how much we're expecting.
But first, Title 42 ends today, and now communities along the border are bracing for an increase in migrants. Today, we're having conversations with reporters across the border and in Washington, D.C. And that's where the Biden administration is planning to use other tools to manage the flow of migrants, and Congress is trying to tackle immigration as well. Hannah Brandt is live for us this evening to talk about those efforts. Hannah.
Jennifer, that's right. For the past 2 years, the Biden administration has used Title 42 to expel millions of migrants. And the reason that these border agents could quickly expel migrants under this policy was because of the pandemic. But tonight at midnight, it expires.
We prepared for this moment for almost 2 years, and our plan will deliver results.
The Biden administration admits the end of Title 42 will be challenging, but insists new policies will help.
Our borders are not open. People who cross our border unlawfully and without a legal basis to remain will be promptly processed and removed.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says migrants must first apply for asylum in countries they cross to get to the U.S. border. DHS is also sending thousands of additional workers to the border to help with processing. And it's working on creating more accessible legal pathways to citizenship by updating technology and opening dozens of migration centers in South America.
We are extending an outstretched arm of humanitarian relief to reach people where they are.
Republicans are attacking the Biden administration's plans.
Innocent lives are at stake. Our nation's sovereignty is at stake. We owe it to the American people to tackle Biden's disastrous border crisis.
Congressman Ben Cline is one of the people supporting the new Republican border bill, which would increase border security, make asylum restrictions stronger, and build more of the wall. But Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries calls the Republican border package extreme.
To try to weaponize and politicize the border as opposed to doing something meaningful about it.
And the House did just pass that Republican border package, but it's unlikely to pass in the Senate, which is controlled by Democrats, which means it's unlikely to actually become law. Jennifer, back to you.
Okay, and Hannah, we know that House Democrats have a border package of their own.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That package is focused more on finding legal pathways to citizenship for these migrants. But that package isn't even likely to pass in the House, which is controlled by Republicans.
Okay, Hannah Brandt in Washington, D.C., thank you so much. Now, border cities like El Paso are also bracing for a surge of migrants. To learn more about this, our anchor Daniel Marin is talking to our sister station, KTSM's Shelly Kapp in El Paso. Daniel.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. And Shelby, it's good to have you with us. What do you see out there right now in El Paso?
Yeah, Daniel, we are right here along the border highway next to the border fence that you can see here behind me. And we know just on the other side of this border fence, our crews in Juarez saying there are 600 migrants that are waiting to be picked up by Border Patrol. They have been bringing buses in and taking these migrants out in groups. Actually, just moments ago, a bus did just pull up here in this area. We may actually see them get on that bus here behind me while we're talking. But this is the area where we're seeing the most migrants at this point along the border. We have seen some a little further down, but this is the main spot, and we've seen Texas DPS troopers here, of course, a Border Patrol, and we're also seeing National Guard at this point. Daniel.
And Shelby, one of the things we've been talking about is that the mayor of El Paso, Oscar Leeser, has been emphasizing being prepared for these migrants. They've opened up a shelter there. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Daniel, actually just yesterday they ended up opening those vacant middle schools that they transformed into migrant shelters. However, I did just speak with the city of El Paso minutes ago, and they did tell me at this point they don't have any migrants in there yet, but they are anticipating that they will see an influx in migrants coming. They're expecting that a lot of those migrants that had actually turned themselves into Border Patrol earlier this week will start being released from custody, and then they will be going to those schools. But they definitely say that safety is a big priority. Our mayor actually saying that he believes there are less migrants now in Juarez, though, before than what we had originally believed.
And Shelby, you also recently talked to the pastor at Sacred Heart Church right there in South El Paso within view of the border. They've been helping with the migrants, but they say they just don't have enough room. What are they saying today?
So that scene really changed because ICE did tell those migrants that they had their last opportunity to turn themselves in. Those migrants who were outside of Sacred Heart Church, and of course we saw they were at capacity, but a lot of those migrants did turn themselves in to a Border Patrol, so they actually do have room. But I'm going to go ahead and step out of the way just a little bit so you can see, Daniel. This is what I was talking about. There's one of those Border Patrol buses that just arrived here at the border. We're not sure if we're going to be able to see migrants get on, but generally we see them kind of walk these migrants out in a line from the border fence and then get onto this bus. You can see Border Patrol communicating to each other out here as they're planning. Sometimes the buses do go in, but maybe we might see some of them actually come out, Daniel.
And Shelby, one more thing before we let you go. Recently, there has been some concern over the safety of these migrants. We shared your reports about fake immigration documents, and you also reported on the recent deadly fire that happened at the migrant center right across the border from El Paso and Ciudad Juarez. So what's being done to keep these people safe?
Yeah, that's something that have been on the top of migrants' minds. When we speak to them, they do say that they did have concerns, especially after what happened over in Brownsville as well with that crash. The city of El Paso saying they have their police department out there trying to make sure that everyone is safe in El Paso. Border Patrol also talking about safety as well. But as you can see, it's still active out here where we are along the border. I'm not sure if we're actually going to be able to see any migrants right now, but I do know they are preparing to go ahead and take those migrants in for processing here at this point.
All right, Shelby Cap, live for us in El Paso. Thank you so much. Jen, back to you.
All right, Daniel, thank you. And later in the show, we will be checking in with Border Report Sandra Sanchez from Brownsville. And we're also taking a look at the other side of the country in California as leaders there prepare for the end of Title 42.
First warning weather with meteorologist Nick Bannon.
A couple of spotty showers, a lot of clouds this morning, but we brightened up nicely with a mix of sun and clouds now, and we're very warm and humid. This is how it looks from our Whittlesey Landscape Supplies camera in Liberty Hill. Still at 90 in Austin. If you're not at 90, you're in the upper 80s. Very warm and sticky throughout. A lot of sun, just some scattered puffy clouds. We're going to carry a low spotty shower or storm chance later this evening. Most of you stay dry, though, as we drop out of the 90s into the 80s on what will be a humid night. Just before noon, the National Weather Service issued a flood watch for the entire area. It doesn't begin until tomorrow evening at 7 until at least 8 Saturday evening, although there's the potential this could get extended into Sunday. The concerns for flash flooding, stream, creek, and possibly river flooding as we head into the weekend. So now's the time to prepare for that. Coming up in First Warning Weather, we'll show you when storms and heavy rain begins, an updated rainfall forecast for the weekend and beyond, and whether we have any dry days ahead at all.
All right, Nick, thank you. A Cameron police officer is dead after an overnight shooting. Cameron is in Milam County, northeast of Austin. The Department of Public Safety says a man shot at a woman in the neck. This was around 11 last night. When officers arrived, the man shot at them, and we do know that Cameron and Rockdale police shot back, killing the suspect. One Cameron police officer was hit. He went to the hospital, but later died from his injuries. A night of healing in Allen, Texas. The community gathered to remember those killed in the mass shooting at an outlet mall last weekend. Lily Zhang takes us there to give us an update on a man who survived that attack.
As the sun sets in Allen, a soft melody of Amazing Grace fills the air. It's been heavy over the past 5 days.
And my heart just breaks for these families and the two little girls that are gone and their mom that survived and the family and that poor little boy. And I mean, it's like, how do you go on from that? You know, and you just, as a mom, your heart breaks for those people.
Laura Barclay's flowers add to the memorial at Allen Premium Outlets. It has quickly grown since Saturday when a gunman killed 8 people, injuring at least 7 more. One of the surviving victims is Irvin Walker. His daughter says he was shot at least twice and may undergo a second surgery this week.
One thing I want to challenge everyone to do today is to call a loved one that you haven't talked to in a long time. Express to them how much you love them, because you never know when it'll be the last time you'll be able to talk to them.
Hundreds attended the vigil Wednesday night as they tried to heal.
This is Allen. This is our city, and we are Allen strong. Don't forget that.
There is also a search for answers, turning Wednesday to faith, praying for an end to violence.
So that not one more person has to go home and wonder why.
And that was Lily Zhang reporting. As mortgage rates rise and national housing prices decline, the Austin area stands out above the rest. We speak to an expert on our current housing market. And a war over water as Arizona's groundwater drops at an alarming rate. That more after the break. The Austin Round Rock housing market is outperforming national trends. This is all according to the Austin Board of Realtors' newest report. Kent Redding, 2023 President-elect, joining us with insight on our current market. Kent, as always, thank you for being here.
Oh, sure. It's my pleasure.
So let's talk about, as a nation, we've been facing inflation, mortgage rates have been rising, there's been stress on our banking system. We've seen what that's been doing to the housing market in the nation. What are we seeing here in Austin according to this latest report?
Well, fortunately, Austin, we still have a robust job market and a robust economy. So even though the rest of the country is showing declines of maybe 20 to 22% in housing, we're only down about 14% from last year. So that's good for Austin, and it's good for buyers because the national news sometimes will scare people a little bit, and that's an advantage for buyers that they can step in and take advantage of the situation and the news that pours down on them. Right?
Yes, and we know that it has indeed been doing that.
It has.
So what county is seeing the biggest increase in home sales and the biggest decrease in median prices?
Sure. What we're seeing is the data indicates Caldwell County, which is Lockhart, which is only a good 30, 40 minutes from here at best, and great barbecue as well.
Yes.
Their median housing price went down, but just below 300 last month to 297. So very affordable, but also their inventory went up. Their inventory went up to about 38%. So they have more homes available at lower prices than they did last year. So if you're looking for that perfect, triangle, perfect storm to buy, Caldwell might be someplace to consider.
Okay. And then what does this latest data show for first-time home buyers as well as people who are interested in investing in real estate?
Well, the latest data really shows that it's a great time to buy in Austin. The last year interest rates were lower, but prices were so much higher. So the equivalent this year is the median price, which is $450. Interest rates are high fives, low sixes. That's still equivalent to where you would have been last year with 4%, and the house's median was $550. So it's a great time for buyers to step into the market, and we think that's going to hold for a little while. Our number of houses on the market, active listing, is holding around 8,000, and it's been steady for the last 3 or 4 months, and that's down from around 10 in September and October. So again, plenty of inventory, but also a great time to buy.
Okay, Kent, as always, you make it so easy for us to understand.
Well, Jennifer, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Jen. Lots to get to in the weather department here today. At least for now, it's quiet. Few puffy clouds around. We'll keep a low storm chance going on here through the evening because we've got this area of low pressure spinning just southeast of Denver that could spike off a couple very isolated storms here in central Texas. But the main area to watch is this broad trough to the west of us that's going to basically develop into an area of low pressure in northern Mexico as it digs eastward, and that will bring us day after day of rain and storms. So tonight, just increasing clouds, a low chance for a spotty shower or storm. We'll call it, say, 10%. And then our day tomorrow, similar to today, clouds in the morning, couple sprinkles or a spotty shower in the morning, some sun in the afternoon, although maybe not quite as much sun as we managed today, and then the chance for a spotty shower or even storm during the afternoon and evening. So that would be a little different than today with those storms potentially being on the strong side. Here's how tonight looks. Partly cloudy at first, spotty shower late evening. Then overnight the low clouds come in, sprinkles, a spotty shower, some drizzle, and even areas of fog to begin the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, the chance, call it a 20% chance for a stray shower or storm. Otherwise, it's a partly cloudy sky, and we're in the upper 80s. Some of our guidance has actually pushed some of the stronger storms closer to the hill country, others near the metro. Still, we think only 20% of you get storms during the daylight hours of the day tomorrow. Rain chances go way up as we approach midnight, late Friday night and Saturday morning, with isolated storms forming a widespread mass of rain in the hill country near midnight, and this gradually moves eastward through the night and into the metro here Saturday morning. Some of the models that we've been looking at actually move this through rather quickly. The faster it moves through, the better, because you don't want all this rain falling over one particular area for too long. That being said, I'd be a little hesitant to believe it'll be this quick, but certainly the quicker the better. However, that may give us a break from the rain late morning and into Saturday afternoon that could help to spark more showers and storms later in the day on Saturday. Severe weather risk here Friday evening, 2 out of 5 for the metro and into the hill country, but our main concern is flash flooding. Friday night, the highest flash flooding risk in Gillespie County and into the hill country, where 2s and 3s out of 4 flash flooding risk exists. The Saturday flash flood threat has dropped slightly. Most of us a 2 out of 4, but south of Austin a 3 out of 4. However, more of us were at a 3 out of 4 in earlier forecasts, and we still have a 2 out of 4 flash flooding threat here on Sunday. So your weekend is wet. I just don't think it's going to rain every moment of the weekend, so you may be able to get some dry time in. How much rain through the weekend? Through Sunday evening, 1 to 2.5 inches of rain for our eastern counties, 2 to 3 for the Austin metro and most of the hill country. We could get some 3s and 4s southwest of Austin, and I think we'll have isolated amounts up to 6. But when you add up the rain that comes after the weekend as well, then you get the 7-day rainfall amounts of 4 to 5 inches with 5 to 7 for parts of the hill country, and isolated amounts 8 to 10. So it's a lot of rain. It doesn't all fall this weekend. Most of it does, though. But you can see even after the weekend, decent rain and storm chances Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A lot to take in. We've got all the forecast information you need, as well as specifics on how to prepare for flooding concerns as well. Remember, you can get up-to-date weather information and alerts from the First Warning Weather Team. Just scan this QR code on your screen. That'll take you to KXAN.com, our weather page, to download the First Warning Weather app and find everything you need to know about watches, warnings, radar information, and alerts where you live.
As Title 42 enters its final hours, we're checking in with border cities throughout the newscast to see how they're preparing for an influx of migrants. An underground battle that is cracking open the earth. This sounds like science fiction. The war, though, is over water. And Brad Hicks shows us in southeast Arizona, it's become a struggle between David and Goliath.
Steve and Lucia Kissel have a sinking feeling.
It caught us off guard.
The earth around them is opening up and the ground is getting lower.
You can put two and two together as to who's causing this.
The problem started 10 years ago. Out-of-state companies began buying huge amounts of farmland in Cochise County. Nut growers from California, a massive dairy out of Minnesota. They drilled deep wells, deeper than local folks could ever afford, and started draining the aquifer for their thirsty trees and forage crops. Steve Kissel's well has been going down ever since.
It's been dropping between 5 and 5.5 feet a year.
As the water table drops, so does the land above it. But lawmakers have been unable to stop it. In rural Arizona, groundwater is a free-for-all.
Someone can drill a well, pump as much water as they want, and there's no restrictions.
So the citizens had to do something.
A petition, the first in Arizona to let voters decide whether to limit water use. Cochise County has 2 groundwater basins. In one, voters approved requiring big growers report how much water they use and a freeze on new farms. In the other, the proposition was defeated 2-1.
Come on, cattle!
Rancher Sonia Gasho led the calls against it. It came down to having local control.
The biggest concern was private property rights and the idea that someone from the government was going to tell you how to farm.
Steve Kissel lives where the proposition lost. Down the road, relics remain from the glory days of gold mining. He worries by mining water, history will repeat itself.
This whole part of the state is going to become a ghost town.
In Cochise County, Arizona, Brad Hicks reporting.
Employee raises could be a little lower than what you're expecting. A look at the numbers to see why expectations could be different from reality. And we continue our coverage on the expiration of Title 42. Even before the policy ends, the leaders of the U.S. Border Patrol says that agents are already using Title 8 to process migrants crossing into the U.S. border ports of entry. Title 8 allows the expedited deportation of migrants, and that means a paper trail is created and it requires a screening for asylum claims. It's just one of the developing stories being followed by the BorderReport.com. Joining us this afternoon is Sandra Sanchez with Border Report. So Sandra, you are now out in Brownsville this afternoon, but just about 60 miles up the interstate in Hidalgo County, a disaster declaration, we understand, was called?
That's right. Thanks for having me. Good afternoon. Yeah, the Hidalgo County judge issued a disaster declaration, as did the Cameron County judge, and this follows suit from the El Paso County judge. What this does is it triggers emergency management plans, and it sets them up for any federal relief funds that they might be able to receive based on the migrant surge. You know, an estimated 100,000 migrants are south of the border, 20,000 in Reynosa, possibly 20,000 in Matamoros, south of just a few blocks south of where I am right now. And so local officials are getting nervous what will happen when Title 42 lifts at about 11 p.m. our time tonight.
And Sandra, can we delve into this new program? It's called the Family Expedited Removal Management Program. How does that work?
Right, that's a mouthful, but the Biden administration has taken criticism for allowing so many families into the country. And so they've started this new program, and they are going to screen the families. And if they pass the litmus test, they, fear of persecution, of prosecution if they were to be returned to their countries, then they're going to place special devices on the heads of households. And this indicates that the administration is expecting a big surge of people to come across because they do have limited number of technology devices. This could be a SmartLink phone app. This could be a GPS ankle bracelet attached. And it will also mean that the migrant families could be subject to a curfew. Now, those who do not pass, Secretary Mayorkas today said they will be returned as a family in 30 days.
Okay, and now before Title 42's end, the Biden administration made it a requirement to apply for asylum through the CBP One app. We've covered this extensively with you. It's been difficult, though, for migrants. What issues are they facing now with that app?
There's still so many glitches in connecting to the internet south of the border. And the U.S. government can't regulate how the internet service works in Mexico, which is spotty. There are so many cell phone carriers, as we have discussed numerous times. There was an opportunity earlier this week when the Biden administration signaled that they were going to launch a new platform for registering people for appointments at these new processing centers. They're going to open 100 processing centers in Latin American countries and Caribbean countries. But when I spoke to White House officials yesterday and asked them, are you doing away with CBP One app and going to use this other online platform? They said, no, we're still going to use CBP One app. They say that they are fixing the app, but I have never heard from a migrant group or a migrant advocate that it works on a regular basis, and they just can't depend upon it. I interviewed Sister Norma Pimentel, and she said she told Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas that the devices, that the app just don't work.
Okay, Sandra Sanchez at the border, thank you so much again for your coverage. Now, on the other side of the country, leaders in San Diego are also bracing for a migrant surge. They're hopeful regional centers in Guatemala and El Salvador, enacted by the Biden administration, will scale back the number of migrants. So joining us from our sister station, Fox 5 San Diego, is Zara Barker. She's in San Isidro. And Zara, thank you so much for being here. You've been speaking to migrants there as they wait to seek asylum. What have they been telling you? What's their experience?
Yeah, so let me kind of set the stage for you right now. We are in San Isidro. It's about 16 miles south of downtown San Diego, and behind me is one of the 30-foot border walls, and it extends to my left and right for as far as the eye can see. But in between these two border walls, it was what's kind of been referred to as no man's land. It is U.S. soil, so these migrants are essentially stuck here until Border Patrol agents can come apprehend them and process them, and then they can begin that process to seek asylum. So we've been here on the ground covering this for more than a week now. We've been talking to these migrants. They are from really all over the world, some of them from India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Colombia, Jamaica, just to name a few. And so a lot of them say that they've been here for up to 6 days now, and Border Patrol agents are passing out water and snacks a couple times a day, but they are kind of relying on humanitarian groups and humanitarian efforts at this time. You can maybe see some of the boxes behind me. Some groups are out here beginning to pass out lunch at this time. A lot of them just tell me they're just waiting and waiting to be apprehended and processed.
Okay, and Zara, here in Texas, I just want to provide a little context for you. The governor started Operation Lone Star a couple of years ago in response to the rise in migrants crossing the border. We understand, though, it's been different there in California. What kind of response have you seen in your state?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's something we've been covering as well here. We've been kind of comparing and contrasting the different responses from our border states. So as Texas kind of launched that Operation Lone Star, and we heard from Texas's governor on Monday during a press conference. We also heard from Arizona's governor on Monday during a press conference. We have not heard from California Governor Gavin Newsom on camera and his response to Title 42, but we've been kind of going back and forth with their press team via email, and it doesn't look as of now that California Governor Gavin Newsom has any plans or attempts to kind of go above and beyond what the federal government is recommending to address Title 42. So it seems as of now that California is kind of taking a step below Texas and Arizona's response to Title 42.
And earlier you referenced those humanitarian groups who you've been speaking to. Have they shared with you their biggest need?
Yeah, their needs right now are blankets, because although it is typically sunny San Diego, it is a time of the year when as soon as that sun goes down, it gets really windy and it gets really cold. We actually had some rain the other night. So these people that are waiting to be processed and seek asylum behind these border walls, a lot of their clothes have been wet. So they, many of them came with only the clothes on their back, maybe a backpack or so, but there's young children here, there's women, we've seen elderly people as well. So a lot of them need blankets and new clothes. Also, food is always a need, but it looks like today maybe they do have the food aspect of it covered. It's something we haven't seen here every day, though.
Sarah Barker, thank you so much. House Republicans voted on a sweeping border security package today, and Republicans say their Secure the Border Act would restore construction of the border wall and restrict asylum access. But as Anna Warnicki reports, Democrats in the White House say the bill would make the situation at the border even worse.
Republican Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz says border communities like those in her South Texas district are bracing for midnight.
The thousands of illegal immigrants that are waiting on the Mexico side and that will come through our borders beginning tomorrow.
That's why she and Texas Republican Michael McCall say passing the Secure Border Act now is critical.
We see caravans right now south coming up towards my home state.
The bill would add 22,000 Border Patrol agents, improve technology at border ports of entry, and restart construction of the border wall.
This legislation is harmful, dangerous.
But Democrats, including Texas Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, say the bill will make the situation at the border even worse. And California Democrat Nanette Barragan says the bill is most harmful to unaccompanied minors.
The bill effectively separates innocent children from their families and leaves them vulnerable to bad actors and to smugglers.
Ohio Republican Jim Jordan defended the bill, saying it will free up processing centers at a time when thousands of migrants are expected to arrive daily.
You come to our country, you will get to, according to the law, file your asylum claim. We're going to follow the law, but you will be detained or you will be returned while your claim is adjudicated.
President Biden has threatened to veto the bill if it makes it to his desk. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
And of course, our extensive coverage of Title 42 and the influx of migrants on the border doesn't end here. We're following all the developments throughout the day on our website at KXAN.com. Be sure to look for our stories there. Well, right now we want to take you live outside, a live look over the city of Austin. A pretty calm day, Nick, but we know that we are expecting a lot of changes, changes in store.
I was thinking about that phrase, calm before the storm,
yes.
And it couldn't sum up today and a good chunk of tomorrow any better. better because things are going to start getting really active, but you may have to wait until late Friday night for that to happen. Let's show you what it looks like as far as the temperatures are concerned on what is also, can't forget this, a hot and humid day. We've got upper 80s and low 90s across central Texas now, and the air is tropical. Dew points in the 70s. Any dew point 70 or above, you really feel that humidity in the air. And we've got that for portions of the hill country, but especially the metro into our eastern counties. Almost dew points in the 80s in parts of Fayette and Bastrop counties now. That is excessive. Dew point's not quite as high, but still you're feeling the humidity in the hill country too. The high humidity, plenty of sunshine. There is instability in the atmosphere. We're not seeing a trigger mechanism to get storms going right now, but a very low storm or shower chance will continue through the evening. We've got a partly cloudy sky overhead, and we expect low clouds will thicken up through the night tonight. We've got a low 10% rain chance this evening, and also into tomorrow morning there could be some spotty showers or sprinkles, kind of like there were this morning. Overnight lows get down to 73. Just before noon, the National Weather Service issued a flood watch for all of central Texas beginning at 7 tomorrow evening through at least Saturday evening. The potential for flash flooding, stream and creek flooding, and even river flooding is in play here this weekend. We'll walk you through the threats and the timing of the most widespread rain in first warning weather.
That raise you got last year will likely be bigger than what you end up getting this year. Some new numbers show worker raise expectations are far off from what employers plan to pay out. KXAN's Tom Miller talked with the Austin Business Journal about how much more you can expect.
Let's start with a look back. How big have raises been in years past, and what's been driving that?
Yeah, with more jobs out there open and they're all people looking for work, unemployment's been quite low. Raises have been at historical levels for the past few years and hit about 6.7% late last year, year-over-year increase in salary.
This year, people are expecting more big raises again, but it might be different. Why is that?
Yeah, I think there's a gap between what people are experiencing, obviously higher inflation, higher grocery costs, and employers now who are looking forward to perhaps some economic turbulence in the near future. So the forecast now is for not quite as high raises this year, which could be disjointing for some people.
Specifically in Austin, you looked at some of our numbers here. We're a major tech hub, some big-time companies. Can we expect different raises from the national averages?
You know, I think we'll fit pretty much in line. If you look at the federal data, wages are up about 1% year over year. Weekly wages are up about 1% year over year in March, which is behind Houston, behind Dallas, close to San Antonio. That's because it already grew so much. So you're already seeing some cooling happening, and the forecast is it's not going to improve much in the future.
How about if you are about to negotiate a raise, you're interested in making more money, do you have some advice for what to say to your boss?
Well, some of the best advice that I've heard from experts is kind of leave the macroeconomic stuff at the door. Yes, we know inflation is higher, we know prices for a lot of things are higher, but that's not going to affect your manager as much as talking about accomplishments you've made in the past year, things you've brought to your team, or how you've improved the business.
Okay, Will Anderson with the Austin Business Journal. Some good advice. Thank you, Will.
Thanks.
Tickets for this year's Tribune Festival, which will take place September 21st through the 23rd, are now on sale. And TribFest is a space for public discourse, really exploring everything from healthcare to education, politics, and the economy. Matt Ewald, Director of Events and Live Journalism at the Trib, joining us to tell us what we can expect. So, Matt, first of all, thank you for being here. And we know that we've spoken to Evan Smith for years about this. There's some new leadership. So what do you all have planned for the TribFest? And we'll get to the speakers in just a moment.
Look, I think building off of remarkable success of last fall, which was a return to the in-person festival that so many touted as the best festival they've experienced, it's building momentum from there. You referenced Evan Smith and, of course, his magic and efforts. He's certainly not out of the picture, working hand in hand with us with programming. We announced the festival on Tuesday with a rollout of speakers, including Ted Cruz, Maddie Parker, Dolores Huerta, and Andrew Yang. And as everyone knows, that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of names we'll be rolling out over the coming months. But truly excited about what this means in bringing Texans together in conversation around issues that matter.
And can we delve into some of those issues? I know in terms of speakers, we have Gabrielle Giffords, you referenced Ted Cruz. What are some of the issues that you all will be tackling at the conference? We know each year headlines are made at the TribFest.
Well, look, I think it's a balance of issues specific to Texas and issues that we see nationwide. And I also think it really does run the gamut from, as you mentioned at the top, healthcare and the economy, but issues of education and taxes. We're going to be in a moment, after the legislative session to be able to think about the implications of decisions made and new law. And of course, just at the beginning of a 2024 election cycle. But what I've so appreciated, even in arriving at the Texas Tribune, is that these are about issues that impact our everyday lives. And it's about how we come together in conversation around the issues, not just that which is on stage. And you're right, it can make headlines, but it's about how we wrestle with those issues after that stage conversation.
Okay, Matt Ewald from the Texas Tribune, thank you so much. And we'll post how people can buy tickets on our website at KXAN.com. We hope you have a great afternoon.
Thanks.
All right, thank you, Jen. As we take you out to Round Rock, Whittlesey Landscape Supplies camera there. I-35 moving okay. We've got clouds mixing with hazy sunshine. Big explanation on what's causing this hazy sky on KXAN.com under the weather blog if you want to read that. Otherwise, a blend of sun and clouds now, and we are dry for now. There's a low spotty storm chance thanks to this low spinning underneath our banner there. Better storm chances to the north of us where they're expecting potentially some severe weather in North Texas. For us, we're thinking a mainly dry night. Our big weather maker is this trough that's going to develop into an area of low pressure as it moves eastward into North Mexico. That's going to give us quite a bit of rain. I want to show you the big picture, show you how it all evolves into the day tomorrow. Morning, sprinkles, couple of spotty showers. During the afternoon, the chance for an isolated storm or two to pop up. But really, I want you to pay attention to the storms blossoming in Mexico as we head into the evening tomorrow. This is 6 o'clock. Big cluster of storms there. And this will slowly be marching its way towards central Texas late tomorrow evening. May not arrive into the hill country until about midnight. So before midnight, isolated storm, possibly a strong or severe storm, but not great in coverage. But midnight and beyond, we'll be watching this cluster of rain working its way eastward, providing a flash flooding threat and at least a low-end severe weather risk into Saturday morning. And there may be several rounds of wet weather during the weekend. Here's how tomorrow looks then. Starts cloudy at 7, 10% chance sprinkle drizzle, kind of like today, 73. We try to brighten up at least a little bit. We'll call it mostly cloudy at noon, 82, a low 10% rain chance. Rain chances get up a little bit to 20%. Isolated storm or shower during the afternoon and a low severe weather risk late afternoon and into tomorrow evening. The severe weather risk tomorrow afternoon and evening primarily focused on the potential for large hail and damaging wind, but it does look isolated, say 20% rain coverage during the afternoon and evening. Rain chances really go up late tomorrow night. These are the rain chances Friday night into Saturday. So Friday afternoon and evening, they're low, say isolated, 20%. But after midnight, those rain chances really jump, peaking early Saturday morning, say 6, 7 a.m., 90% rain coverage. And then the rain coverage drops late morning into the afternoon. There may be a period of drier weather at times on Saturday. Still have indoor plans ready to go, but there may be a little window where you could get outside for a little bit. 60% rain coverage tomorrow night. That jumps to 90% on Saturday. How much rain through the weekend? Well, here's the European computer model giving us anywhere from 1 to more than 3 inches of rain. In a localized way, you could get 4 and 5 inch rainfall amounts here this weekend, possibly even higher than that. And then the rain slowly adds up as we head into next week, where we think 3 to 5 inch rainfall amounts will be fairly common, some higher than that. Before potential flooding, secure outdoor objects, unplug outdoor appliances, have an emergency kit ready to go. Make sure your friends and neighbors know where they need to go in case of flooding, and you got to make sure that you have a way to stay informed too, especially if this stuff happens in the middle of the night. KXAN weather app, good to have. Wireless emergency alerts will keep you ahead of the game too. And of course, a weather radio. Rain chances still high on Sunday, but do drop off slowly as we head into next week. Look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. Decent rain chances Monday at 60%. That drops to 50% for Tuesday and Wednesday, and still some leftover rain into Thursday. Don't forget, scan the QR code on your screen to take you to the KXAN weather app. If you don't have it yet, you're one of the few that doesn't, but it'll sure be a good piece of tool to have here this weekend to keep you safe and ahead of the storms. We'll be right back.
And we have more news coming up after the break, including the small Central Texas town mourning the loss of a police officer killed in an overnight shootout. Our Brianna Hollis is live there for us on KXAN News at 5 o'clock.
Got a big storm heading for Central Texas just in time for the weekend.